talks about meditation. If folks are wanting to do a little bit more meditating, just going out and taking a walk is a form of meditation. Going and running errands is a form of meditation. When I first started meditating, I had a hard time quieting the mind. I had hundreds of thoughts running through my mind, and it took a lot of trial and error to get it to where I could sit there and focus and not think and not hear a song in my head or just hear anything at all. And also not responding to your sense of touch, your sense of feel, your sense of hearing, your sense of sight, all the receiving ends of our senses that send information to our brain, wanting to tell us information. So it's like you're cutting off all of those things. And when you get good at this, you start getting good at monitoring all of your thoughts. And there comes a point when you start to notice, that's not my thoughts. That sounds like something my mom would say. That's something one of my friends would say. That's something that I learned in school, and that's not my original thought or how I originally feel. But this comes later down the road. Trying to do that right off the bat is kind of pointless. You want to get to the point where you're a master observer of your own thoughts and a master controller of your own thoughts. It's getting a little soupy over here. I'll take the middle route. There's some milk duds. Yeah, I'm over here in Ensign, or not Ensign, Immigration Canyon. Whoa. Started to slip. Yeah, so it's like meditating is like this water right here. See how clear and glassy it looks? The more still that water is, the more you can go up to it and see a reflection. I feel like meditation is just a practice to really find your most authentic inner monologue. See, you can kind of see the mountains reflecting off the water here. But yeah, there's hardly anybody ever at this park. So yeah, I kind of wanted to get away from talking about all the tyranny and tragedy of the world, and how did I get into all these numbers and frequencies? Lots and lots of meditation for years. I'm 46 years old, and I've probably been meditating since I was 15, but very gradual, long distance of self-mastery, because high school and the 20s and early 30s were definitely huge distractions in my life. But yeah, once you hit 40, it's like something changes. Meditation became a lot easier. I was reading Four Agreements, and that book talks about how you should go within, and all the different agreements that basically agreed to believe by things that you were told by your parents, your siblings, people that you looked up to, your friends, everybody, like all of society, the mainstream narrative, the news, his story. There comes a time when you got to go in and listen to how you feel. And if you have a question about yourself, sit with that question for a long time, for days. But you don't want to sit there waiting for it. You're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, just waiting for your answer or your manifestation. That's when it's not going to come. You got to go and do your other forms of meditation, like taking a walk and going and running your errands, cleaning the house and listening to music and doing your dancing and playing your music. Those are super high level forms of meditation and magic. Gotta, whenever this is something that I need to practice myself, is all this focus on trying to break this colonial magic spell and just see it for what it is, has just kind of got me out of doing all the things that I love, like dancing and playing music, singing, skateboarding, snowboarding, all the fun things, going out and riding dirt bikes and playing with our big kid toys, you know. I'm a huge fan of all that stuff. But I just feel like we're just in such a strange time that people need guidance, people need hope, people need incentive, and all this undervaluing of inflating every single thing that's basically a recyclable, replaceable piece of shit that only lasts like a few years before it's being replaced by some new model that's just the exact same thing. I just miss the old days whenever we had things that lasted, and yeah, everything's been so inflated, and when everything costs more and you have to work more, that means you're at work more. Your me time is being stolen, and we're being undervalued, and that's some bullshit. And now I was talking about meditation, but it just took a turn. So, but yeah, this is about meditation. This is our me time is our meditation. Me diation. Me is obviously your inner feminine. What can I do for me? I can sit down and chill and relax for 10 minutes and like recharge for a bit, you know, like what can I do? What can I do for, whenever you're asking yourself, what can I do for me? That's your masculine asking your feminine, what can I do for you? You know, we're constantly putting so much on our plate for everybody else and for the man and to survive and make this money, and we're being undervalued, and our me time is being taken away by the man's time, and you're being taxed every single which way to where you're being taxed to even fart, and you're going to have a carbon footprint meter on your asshole, and it's going to cost money to fart here pretty soon with the way things are looking. So I'm just yeah, we all need to look at the dark, but also at the same time find a way to transmute that dark into the highest version of light, no matter how dark that darkness is. And yeah, we need reasons to celebrate on a massive collective level. I'm just walking back and forth over here. I don't even know what I'm doing. But it feels nice to talk to somebody. I've been pretty alone in this journey, and I had to recently give up my dog because I just don't know what the future holds. Everything's getting really, there's a lot of uncertainty in the air, and the good news is all the math that I've been doing for this coming up eclipse, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse that we're having, the lunar eclipse tonight on 3/25, all the math for that, for both of these eclipses, the cyclic, like big cycle math is all showing 432 hertz frequencies, and I haven't seen that show up ever. All I've been seeing is the other 440 hertz frequencies all through the cycles, but this eclipse is definitely being heavily ritualized, and they're basically trying to hack that 432 hertz frequency with all these bullshit Hollywood elite rituals with all their genocides and acts and resolutions. And yeah, this stuff has been everything that they've been doing for hundreds of years. It's like they've been looking towards this moment, and I'm very intrigued on what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know that we're going to go into a different frequency, and it's like anything that you multiply by 9 is always going to equal, the digital root is always going to equal 9. So we're in the 9th harmonic of the photon belt. So this lunar eclipse or the solar eclipse, or both of them, are basically signifying the shit. And it's like you can't change frequency or math, and you can't run from it. So it's kind of a inevitable battle that's been going on throughout time, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen because yeah, there's some strange cycles. Like what's one of the cycles that I noticed from 11/29, the resolution 181 from 2020 to your solar eclipse, your great solar eclipse on 4/8 of 2024 equals 1226 days. And what's trippy about that is that's when Abraham Lincoln had the mass hanging on 1226. And yeah, it's like I need to do some more research on that number 126, because I didn't know, I just haven't really dissected that number that much with the perspective of frequency and cycles. So I need to go back and look at that number. But from the resolution 181 to 11/29, I know I was talking about meditation, and now we're talking about this shit. Whatever. From resolution 181 of, I got that. That first one was on 11/29 of 2023. No, I was right. My bad. The first one was right. So 11/29 of 2020 to the great solar eclipse of 4/8 equals 1,226 weeks, like the record hanging by Abraham Lincoln on 12/26. And then from 11/29 of 2023, resolution 181 on 11/29, but we're using the date 2020 or the year 2023 just to look at the cycles. From that day to the greatest American solar eclipse on 4/8 of 2024 equals 131 days. Like your 141st prime, 811, equaling 1331 minutes, equaling 131 from resolution, or from the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528, signed by Grandmaster Mason, to Resolution 181 on 1129 of 1947, splitting Palestine into two states, creating Israel, endorsed by another Grandmaster Mason, Harry Truman, equaling 1410 months, when I lost track. Wait, where was I at? The one, yeah. Sometimes my brain just gives up on me. Now is a moment. I'll give it some time to see if it makes a comeback. But look how beautiful this lake is. It's crazy. There's an indigenous town under here. The Pony Express was traveling through here, and Brigham Young and his settlers were traveling through here. Also, the Donner Party traveled through this area, through this canyon, Immigration Canyon, and also Patrick Edward Connor traveled through here. So yeah, I'm just out here trying to figure things out for myself. A little meditative walk and standing against colonialism. I've missed my last 3 car payments, all my credit card payments for months. Haven't basically, I'm still participating in the matrix to some degree, but I tried to limit as much as possible. But I've limited all my resources. Instagram account has been hacked, and I can't log into that. That was probably my best source of followers and supporters, keeping me going on this journey. But you know, some things have to come to an end, I guess. Milk duds. Yeah, I was working on I plan on doing more meditative type videos in the future. But I feel like we gotta heal this major wound of the collective. We've been colonized through his story and the narrative, and we're speaking this language out of context that's derived from Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon runes. And those 2 Grandmaster Mason presidents were related to King John, who signed the Magna Carta, which was signed with parasitic wasp shit or some shit like that. And that had Anglo-Saxon rights on it, basically secretively protecting these Anglo-Saxons who, I believe the original Anglo-Saxons were the shamans and the good witches that were all slaughtered through ancient times, whenever the colonists and Roman Catholics were going in, and basically the Order of the Jesuits were going in and persecuting all the shamans all of the witches who were practicing paganism, and they Christianized them or genocided them, and then they stole their name, the Anglo-Saxons, but they rebuilt this alphabet, which it's made out of it starts with the compass and the square. The A is the compass, the man-made tool that draws the circle and claims the circle and claims all of creation. The square is the square that squares it. Now, if you look at the third letter of the alphabet is C, and the 11th letter is K, like 311. A little out of breath. I was walking up this major hill here. It's probably not much, but I'm a little out of shape. Yeah, so the third letter C, the 11th letter is K. The rune for C is a square. The rune for K is a square. And if you flip that rune counterclockwise 90 degrees, it literally turns into an envelope, the Freemason envelope. And this is all like the order of the J suits. IXXI equals 911 in Roman numeral, and 911 minutes equals 311 minutes in time. 911 minus 181 equals 730. 730 mirrored and flipped is L backwards. The date 7-3 equals 181 days remain, like the Lemuria. Romo slays his twin brother Remo, honoring the dead remains. So you see, 9/11, the date plus 181 days equals 3/11, like the Lemuria. 5/11, Romo slays his twin brother Remo, 44 BC, insinuating 440 hertz. 5/11 in time equals 3:11 minutes. 9/11 minutes equals 3:11 in time. So going back to that rune, the third and the 11th runes are a square. It's the envelope whenever you turn it counterclockwise. That's the Freemason apron that they wear. Now that square rune, when you flip it 90 degrees clockwise, it turns into Thorn's rune. Thor, it's the rune for TH. And whenever you combine the empire that rises after the Republic falls, after Romo slays his twin brother Remo, Remo falls, the Republic falls, and the empire begins, combined with the M and the Thorn TH, you get the very first pronoun, them. I don't like them. We need to get rid of them so we could get more gold and silver, and we'll just make them work for us. And that's the first pronoun. So the square rune, whenever you turn it 45 degrees backwards, it literally creates the letter L and the square. The L is the square, the E, the L, but yeah, the alphabet, the alphabet. The Al is the A and the L, the compass and the square. 1 through 12 notes of music, just like A through L is 1 through 12. And then we have phi. Phi is projection. 1.618, that's creation. The number of phi is seen in all of creation, just like the Fibonacci sequence. So the bit, the alpha bit, that's like the computer bit. Everything's made from O's and ones. This is a simulation, and words are spells. And when you control the food, the language, and the mathematics, only teaching capitalistic mathematics and hoarding this like magic Masonic mirror mathematics that was stolen from the shamans and plagiarizes the shit out of them. It's a big deal, and I've dedicated my life and I'm sacrificing myself to raise awareness on bringing these pieces of shit down. And yeah, their plan to basically just starve people out and shadow ban people to where the truth doesn't come out. My TikTok's already gotten, I just got a warning from my TikTok today. TikTok, they warned me that I'm on the verge of having my account taken or whatever they do. It's in violation. And the 2 posts are about the Balfour Declaration and how that connects with the Jewish Colonization Association on, is that 1902? Or no, that's the Trust, the Jewish Trust of 1902, which was the same year that the Rockefellers invested millions into the Board of Education, which that was created by Horace Mann back in 1830, like Horus the Falcon Sun God, observing the sun from the longest day of night to the longest day of sunlight, 183 days. So the Rockefellers invested that money on 1902, just the same year as the Jewish Colonial Trust, and the Jewish Colonization Association, which was the Anglo-Palestine Colonization Association, which that later got transferred to Edmund Rothschild. He was in Palestine creating many colonization programs. And yeah, it was basically that post connecting the dots with all those people, Nathan Rothschild being a Mason and having the millions invested in the Suez Canal, that being a major port for trade, saving and making lots of millions of dollars on Earth's natural resources, which they never give back from what they take. So, got the violation from that. Instagram got taken down. YouTube, you guys are all I have left. And my Facebook, but I just don't really have the greatest following on there. It's just like a handful of few sovereign beings that can retain the information and get it. But, yeah, there's a huge, massive awakening coming. Woo. Last, cut out for a second. Better upload this before it cuts out on me again. Peace in my crease. Say bye, Lake.